Hello there, I'm Chris Lozano and welcome to our studio. In this episode, we are going to be going over how to get pre-approved for a mortgage loan. A lot of first-time home buyers come to our channel and they have no idea what the process is. So with that, I decided, let me ask a good friend of mine who is actually a mortgage lender. His name is Steve Goumas. I wanted him to be here, go over some of the processes and what it takes to actually get pre-approved. Now, welcome, Steve. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Steve has actually been a mortgage lender here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, since 2000?
Correct. So about 24 years now.
Quite a while. Quite a while. So Steve's closed a few loans. I've been a realtor here in Colorado Springs since 1992. Moved here from Los Angeles. Been here ever since. So when it comes to the team that you're going to work with, we prefer it to be us, Steve on the mortgage side and myself on the real estate side. So with that, we're going to go over the process, getting pre-approved versus pre-qualified. Anybody can get pre-qualified. Steve, why do you go through the pre-approval process? It's a lot stronger, correct? Being pre-approved?
Right, it's a lot stronger. It's actually been submitted through a desktop underwriting program that we use with all of your income information, all of your job information off of a mortgage loan application. And that pre-approval, when it comes out, it gives you, the realtor, and your buyer a lot more confidence that we've actually done our due diligence in pre-approving them, that now you can take them out, they can go shopping, and it's not just what they say they make income-wise, but we actually have documentation to substantiate that, and you can take them out and go shopping with confidence.
So what exactly, for a first-time home buyer, because I get those questions all the time, where do I start? So Steve, what is going to be the first step in actually getting pre-approved?
That's a good question. So we like to make it as convenient as possible for the new buyer. We offer, for convenience, we offer an online application system where they will go in and they'll fill out a mortgage application, 100% complete with all their pertinent information. It'll collect their job, what their income is, their job history, assets. So all the pertinent information that we need in order to get that pre-approval with confidence. So they'll go online, they'll do that mortgage loan application. We'll review that with them to make sure it's thorough. And then at that point, we will actually pull credit. We'll pull a credit report. We'll review that with them to make sure it's accurate. If there's any questions or red flags that have come up, then we'll handle that at that time as well. And if there's anything that needs to be repaired, if there's any collections that need to be taken care of, we will counsel them on that, what needs to be done. So once we have that done as well, then at that point we'll collect documentation from them, and that documentation substantiates what is on the application, and then we'll submit that and get the pre-approval that we're searching for.
So you can get the pre-approval first, okay,
right,
which means you've already run,
our desktop underwriting, which is our in-house program that that we run it through, and then we'll actually submit that file to an underwriter with all the necessary documents to get the 100% full-blown pre-approval from the underwriter.
So typically then they're going to get pre-approved.
Correct.
Then once you're pre-approved, we're going to get together. I'm going to get together with Steve. We're going to go over the particulars, because putting a contract together, folks, isn't the easiest thing in the world. So I do know that the more thorough you are with Steve, the more information you give to Steve, the documentation is critical.
Correct.
So that way when I'm writing the offer, what am I asking the seller for in the offer? Am I asking the seller to pay certain closing costs? Things like that. So that's where you need to give all the information you can to Steve. And then once we're pre-approved, he gets with me, and this becomes very much a team effort. This is a huge team effort. So we're all working together to get you into the right home to get you closed. So with that, once you're pre-approved, Steve, how long typically does it take from the time I give you the contract, we're under contract, how long does it take underwriting to get us from the submission process to the actual closing table?
Good question. So typically that process is about a 30-day process. From the time I'm given a contract by you, at that point we will submit your file to that underwriter with any additional documents that is needed. That's typically about a 7-day process where we get an initial approval back from the underwriter with conditions. So the underwriter may be asking questions, may want some additional documentation. I will quickly get that information from you, the buyer, and get that back to the underwriter. At that point, about another 7 days, the underwriter will come back with more of a final approval with the documents that they've asked for. And at that point, we have basically a final approval. And then we're just waiting on a couple of things, say the appraisal to come back, just to confirm the value of the home. There could be some questions on the home inspection. So by that point in time, we're really close to having the final approval from the underwriter from a 2 to 3 week period. And then from there, it's just on to closing in that last week.
A couple of things I need to mention. When you start this process, I know, and Steve can probably verify, it's critical. Just because we got you pre-approved doesn't mean you should ever go buy a car or a refrigerator, because I'm sure you've seen this happen where, all of a sudden they're pre-approved, they're ready to go, they put a contract on a house, and then 3 days before closing, they come back and actually they show up in a brand new Corvette to the closing. So Steve is looking like, I hope that's a rental, because what happens in that situation, Steve?
Well, at that point, you've added more debt to your monthly expenses, and more than likely, you won't qualify for that loan anymore.
So before you go out and purchase anything to include lunch and put it on a credit card, talk to Steve. That's what we have him for. He's been doing this for a very long time. Steve, one other question that I had, one last one. The types of loans. What types of loans does your company offer? And what do you think is going to be the best one?
Well, so here at Colorado Home Mortgage, we are a broker, so we offer a whole gamut of different products. We can do all the vanilla FHA, VA conventional loans. But then we also offer niche products for self-employed borrowers. We offer, types of loans where it's all bank statement related, 12 months, 24 months of bank statements, where we don't rely as heavily on, say, tax returns in order to get them qualified. We have down payment assistance programs for first-time home buyers. We have loans for people with great credit. We have loans for folks that are credit challenged that need some help. So we have a whole array of different products in order to get you qualified, you the buyer, and get you pre-approved so that they can go shopping.
Well, Steve, I want to thank you for being here. The information was really informative. It's a real pleasure to have you here. I look forward to doing a lot more business with you. If you have any questions, you want to know more, if you want to get pre-qualified, pre-approved, you want to start searching for homes, see the links below. You're going to be able to get a hold of myself and Steve. This can be a very tedious process. It can be a little nerve-wracking. It's our job to get you through this with as little pain as possible. So with that, again, thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you soon.